Hi there everyone, welcome to the Show. I'm Vince and it's time for another Friday Funday Adventure. Ever wonder what it feels like to stand face to face with a whale shark? Or to walk through a tunnel surrounded by sharks, stingrays, and swirling school of fish? Well, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping spots in the south, the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia. This isn't just any aquarium, it's one of the largest in the world with over 11 million gallons of water and home to tens of thousands of animals across 7 epic galleries. We are talking about whale sharks, beluga whale, giant grouper, playful sea otter, moon jellies that glow like space aliens, and even a 4D theater that may just splash you back to reality. Whether you are here for the behind-the-scene animal encounter, the floor-to-ceiling Ocean Voyager tunnel, or just want to see a sea lion wave at you, yes, that happens. This is pure magic for kids, grown-up, and fish nerds alike. So grab your crew, charge your phone, and let's make a splash at the Georgia Aquarium, where every tank tells a story and every visit feels like a swim through wonders. Let the underwater adventure begin. You think you have seen shark? Think again. This isn't just a tank. This is Georgia Aquarium Ultimate Predator Encounter, the adrenaline-pumping, jaw-dropping exhibit known as Shark Predator of the Deep. In today's videos, it's all about the true titan of the sea. Forget cute and cuddly. We are diving into dark, mysterious world ruled by razor teeth, silent speeds, and millions of years of evolution. Let's go and meet some real-life monster of the deep and find out why sharks are way cooler than Hollywood ever told you. As you step into the gallery, everything changes. The light goes low, the music thumps, and you feel like you are underwater and being watched. This exhibit is one of the largest shark habitats in North America. With floor-to-ceiling viewing window, a walk-through tunnel, and a cast of top-level predators swimming right past your face. It's not just an aquarium, it's a stage encounter zone designed to flip fear into fascination. Let's meet the main star of the show, and trust me, each one has its own superpower. First up, the tiger shark. Nicknamed for garbage of the sea, these beasts have the boldest diet of any shark. Sea turtle, birds, dolphin, even car license plate. No joke. Those dark stripes down its body, that's how it got its name. Tiger shark can grow up to 14 feet and weigh over 1,400 pounds. And unlike most sharks, they don't shy away from shallow coastal area. Next, the iconic great hammerhead, nature ultimate radar. That weird T-shaped head is not just for style, it helps them detect the weak electro pulses of prey buried in the sand. They also have 360-degree vision and can pin down stingray with that white head like a pancake press. They can grow up to 20 feet and are solitary, powerful hunter. Check out the silver-tipped shark, elegant but deadly. With silvery white tip on their fin and an aggressive hunting style, these sharks are fast, territorial, and super sensitive to vibration. They are built for speed and precision. Think Formula 1 driver in shark form. They are found in the open ocean and reef drop off across the Indo-Pacific. Sandbar shark. Now here's a shark with swagger. The sandbar shark, thick body, large dorsal fin, and a chill vibe. It's one of the most commonly seen sharks along the U.S. Atlantic coast, especially in the summer. Though they can grow up to 8 feet, they generally non-aggressive towards humans and often used in shark study for their calm behavior. Zebra shark. That is a leopard? Nope, it's a zebra shark. They are born with stripes, but as they grow, those stripes fade and become spot. Zebra sharks are nocturnal and love to wiggle through coral reefs like underwater snakes. They are known for their super flexible body, great for squeezing into tight spaces to catch prey. Now let's talk about what makes this apex predator so legendary, their adaptation. Each part of the shark is built for survival. Teeth, row upon row. Some sharks lose and replace up to 30,000 teeth in a lifetime. Skin covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scale that reduces drag and make them feel like sandpaper. Sense. Electroreception can detect the heartbeat of prey hidden under the sand. Smell can sense 1 drop of blood in million gallons of water. Hearing and vibration detection. Specialized sensors pick up low-frequency movement from miles away. Vision. Some sharks see in near total darkness, perfect for hunting at night. Basically, they are the ninja of the sea. Let's clear the water on one thing. Sharks are not out there to get you. There are 500 shark species and only a handful are involved in human incidents. Statistically, you're most likely to be injured by a coconut, a vending machine, or a selfie stick. What is really scary? Humans kill over 70 million sharks a year, mostly for shark fin soup. This is not just cruel, it's dangerous. Sharks keep ocean ecosystem balanced. Remove them and the ripple effect could collapse food chains and coral reef. The Georgia Aquarium isn't just showing off sharks, they are studying and protecting them. Through partnerships and research, they are working on understanding shark migration pattern, breeding programs, program, public education, supporting international conservation now. So when you visit, you're not just getting cool selfie, you are supporting real science that's helping save the ocean. Here are a few things to check out when you are here in person. The massive viewing window, great for spotting tiger shark and hammerhead. The 360 tunnel, stand right under the shark for jaw-dropping shot. The shark tooth wall, compare your teeth to a megalodon. And the interactive digital touchscreen, build your own shark and see how long it survived in the wild. From stripe to hammer to teeth like razor, shark truly are a perfect predator. But more than that, they are essential, endangered, and worth protecting. Thanks for swimming with me through the shark predator of the deep. If this got your heart racing and your curiosity buzzing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic adventure. And stay tuned, next we are visiting the funniest, flippiest, and most dramatic performer in the sea. That's right, the sea lion time, baby. Let's go.
This holds all life forms ecosystem, all the way down to tiny plankton.
Okay, we made it out of the shark zone. Still got all your limb, right? Now after all that razor tooth intensity, how about something a little more flippy, funny, and downright adorable? Welcome to the Sea Lion Gallery. This is where the vibe goes from apex predators to comedy shows with flippers. Sea lions are basically stand-up comedian of the ocean. They bark, they clap, they spin in the water, and yes, they love to show off for the crowd. Here at the Georgia Aquarium, you'll find California sea lion, known for their big personality, playful energy, and surprisingly smart. And don't let those big eye and whisper fool you. These guys are high-performance swimmers, capable of diving up to 600 feet and holding their breath for nearly 10 minutes. But honestly, most of the time they're just vibing, lounging on a rock like a beach bum with attitude. If you time your visit right, you may catch a sea lion presentation, where the trainer and animal work together to teach, entertain, and sometimes even throw a little splash your way. Trust me, if the sea lion locks eyes with you, you're about to be part of the show. From shark thrill to sea lion laugh, that's what the TheViluShow is all about. Let's dive in and meet these floppy flipper friends. They have got a lot to say and even more to show. Okay y'all, we had our laugh with the sea lions. Flipper flying, whisker whistling, and more sad than a soap opera. But now it's time to trade ocean waves for riverbanks. Welcome to the River Scout Gallery. Here the water runs fresh, the color pop, and the creature, oh, they are wild in the best way. This exhibit is designed to feel like you are exploring rivers from all around the world. Amazon to Africa, Asia to Georgia swamp. You will see water above your head, flowing underneath your feet, and yes, creature hiding in the shadow, just waiting to be surprised. Let's kick it off with a pop of color, the discussed fish. This round, vibrant swimmer are often called the butterfly of the Amazon River. They come in blue, red, and yellow, and they don't just look good, they are also super social. Discuss live in tight-knit groups and communicate with subtle body movements and even skin secretions to help their baby feed. Fancy and family-oriented, we love that. Now let's turn up the drama a notch. Say hello to the red piranhas. Yeah, the name alone makes people flinch, right? But here's the truth. Piranha get a bad rap. Yes, they have sharp teeth and strong jaws, but they are usually more afraid of you than you are of them. In the wild, they mostly eat fish, insects, and plants. An attack on humans, that's pretty rare, unless you are a chicken leg dropped into a feeding tank. Now before you get too cozy, let's meet one more river predator that doesn't play around, the African tiger fish. Imagine a piranha but with fangs like a barracuda and a personality like a rocket. This fish is built for speed and ambush. It can leap out of the water to catch bird mid-flight. Yes, birds. With slick silver scale and serious bite power, the tiger fish is one of Africa's most feared freshwater hunters. Basically, if fish had action movies, this guy will be the star. And finally, my personal favorite, this tiny but mighty Asian small claw otter. These little guys are the smallest otter species in the world, but don't let size fool you. They are pure energy in pursuit. They use their tiny human-like paws to feel around in the mud and catch food like crabs, clams, and fish. They are always chatting, wrestling, and running around like toddler on espresso. The River Scout Gallery is all about discovery and surprise. A twist around every turn, flash from above, and creatures that prove that rivers have just as much magic as the ocean. Ready to keep the adventure flowing? Let's keep moving. You know what is around the next bend here at the TheViluShow. Alright friends, we have had non-stop action from otter wrestling like it's the Olympic to tigerfish with the taste for drama, but now it's time to slow things down, take a deep breath, and get ready to step into something truly majestic. We're headed into the cold water quest, and right this way you will find one of the most magical, serene, and downright beautiful creatures in the whole aquarium. Say hello to the Beluga whales. Just look at them, all white, smooth, and glowing like they were carved out of sea mist. Beluga are nicknamed for conquerors of the sea because they are super vocal, clicking, whistling, chirping, and even singing to communicate with each other. You won't hear it through the glass, but trust me, there's a full concert happening behind that tank. They live in Arctic water, so this habitat is kept cold. I'm talking about bird level cold. That thick blubber keep them warm, and their flexible neck let them nod, look around, and pull up some serious side-eye. Unlike most whale, belugas can move their head independently, so they always look like they are thinking of deep thoughts or judging your outfit gently. At the Georgia Aquarium, you may spot multiple belugas swimming together. These guys are social. They love being around each other, and sometimes they even swim belly up to the glass to check you out. And can we talk about the cuteness overload when one row over and you see those little dimples behind their smile? That's not CGI. That's nature work of art right there. Belugas are part of the important research and conservation effort here. As sea ice melts and ocean change, scientists at the Georgia Aquarium are working to better understand how to keep this animal safe in the wild, and your visit helps fund that work. So take a moment, stand still, watch them glide like ghosts through the water. It's peaceful, powerful, and exactly what we need in the middle of a wild adventure. But don't blow away just yet, because next up we headed to meet the southern sea otter, the furball of the sea. They swim, snack, and snoo like pros, and trust me, you don't want to miss the cuteness. Let's go. Alright y'all, welcome to the fluffiest stop of our Friday Funday Adventure, the Southern Sea Otter. This little guy are basically nature's floating teddy bear, but don't let that cuteness fool you. Sea otter are survival specialists. They have the densest fur in the animal kingdom, up to 1 million hair per square inch. That's like wearing a built-in wetsuit that never gets soggy. They float on their back, use rock as tools to crack open shellfish, and sometimes they just lie there holding hands. I mean, come on, too cute. Here at the Georgia Aquarium, you'll see them zooming, flipping, and jumping snack mid-backstroke like this brunch on a lazy river. And every visit helps help support conservation programs protecting otters in the wild, especially when they are still recovering from past hunting. So take a minute, soak in the fluff, and say hi to this playful powerhouse of the Pacific.
Here's the ball. Here's the ball. Watch, she's gonna go for it. See, look. Woo, missed it.
From floating furball to cold crashing waves, we are headed north to the Alaskan Rocky Reef. Get ready for chilly water, swirling current, and some seriously tough marine life built for the rough Pacific coast. Let's dive in. Now, here's a creature straight out of the fantasy book, the sea dragon. With leaf-like fins and a slow, graceful glide, this guy looked more like floating seaweed than fish, and that is exactly the point. They are a master of camouflage, hiding among kelp and coral to avoid predators. Closely related to the seahorse, sea dragons don't swim fast, but they drift with style. Delicate, rare, and absolutely mesmerizing. This is nature underwater art. Alright, from the dreamy drift of the sea dragon, let's shake off the calm because it's time to meet some of the coolest birds in the aquarium, the North Pacific puffins. These little guys look like cartoon characters brought to life. Black and white body, bright orange beak, and wings that flap like crazy underwater. Yep, puffins don't just fly through the sky, they fly through the water too. They are fast, they are feisty, and they have that serious attitude. Whether they are diving for fish or showing off that puffin strut, they are a total joy to watch. Let's head into the coastal cliff and meet this feathered torpedo up close. Okay, after zooming with Puffin and floating with the sea dragons, it's time to take a quick break and play like a kid again. Right here in the heart of the aquarium, you find a few interactive zones. And trust me, they're not just for little ones. From touchscreen games where you build your own sea creature, to motion sensor challenges that test your reflexes, like dodging predators or guiding a sea turtle to safety, it's the perfect spot to learn while you play. And honestly, it's a great excuse to sit for a second and let your feet stop screaming. But don't get too comfy because now we are waddling into one of the coolest, cutest, and most tuxedos corner of the aquarium. It's time for the penguin. Here at Georgia Aquarium, you will meet the southern African penguin. Yep, penguin from Africa, not Antarctica. They live in warm coastal climates, and unlike their ice-loving cousins, this guy built for the rocky beaches and crashing waves. Watch them dive like little torpedoes, zip through the water, then pop out and do the classic penguin waddle like they are late for a red carpet. You may even catch them nesting, preening, or giving their partner a little playful gift. That's real penguin love right here. And here's a fun fact. Each penguin has a unique pattern of black spots on their chest, kinda like fingerprints. So yes, they have got built-in fashion and ID badge. Only at the ViluShow, folks, where even birds wear suits. Alright, we've had our tuxedo time with the penguins, water wiggle and all, but now let's roll up those sleeves because it's time to get hands-on. We're heading over to the open sturgeon touch tank. Yes, you heard that right. You're gonna please touch one of the oldest fish species on the planet. Sturgeon has been around since the time of dinosaurs, and with their armor bodies and long snout, they look like a little prehistoric submarine. The best part? They're totally chill. You just gently glide your hand along their back as they swim by, and they don't mind it a bit. It's soft, a little slimy, but kind of addicting. Warning, you may want to do it more than one time, and yes, it's allowed. It's a super fun moment to connect with wildlife in a real physical way. No screen, no glass, just you and the living fossil passing through. Alright folks, we just touched living fossil at the sturgeon touch tank. And honestly, how do you top that? Well, buckle up, because we're about to step into one of the most epic, iconic, and unforgettable exhibit in the entire Georgia Aquarium. Welcome to the Ocean Voyager, built by the Home Depot. And let me tell you right now, this isn't just an exhibit, it's a portal into another world. This tank is absolutely massive, over 6.3 million gallons of salt water. That's more than 100,000 bathtub full of oceans. Give or take a rubber duck. It was originally designed to house whale shark, and it's still one of the only places outside of Asia where you can see this gentle giant up close. As you walk through the 100-foot tunnel, take your time. Above you, beside you, and all around you, shark, ray, groupers, and glittering school of fish glide silently through the water. And then certainly, there it is, the massive shadow, that mouth open, that calm presence that steals the show, the whale shark. They can grow up to 40 feet long, but don't worry, they eat plantains, not people. You also spot manta rays the size of a dining table doing underwater backflips, giant grouper that could bench press a luggage, and cow-nose rays fluffing past like sea butterflies. The lightning, the sound, the sheer size of this place. It's like the ocean version of a cathedral. People walking here talking and walking out whispering. It's just that powerful. And don't miss a giant viewing window at the end of the loop. Sit down, breathe, and let it all sink in. It's a moment you will remember long after your visit ends. A reminder of how small we are and how vast, beautiful, and mysterious the ocean really is. So yeah, this isn't just a tank, it's the heart of the Georgia Aquarium, and you're right in it. Let's go take it all in together.
Look at that fish is chilling on the right. How big he is. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Oh, look to your left. Big old group. Alright, back to the grouper.
And just like that, our Friday Funday Adventure at the Georgia Aquarium comes to a close. From the jaw-dropping size of the whale shark, to the wild-eyed charm of the sea otter, playful swagger of penguins, and even the prehistoric touch of a sturgeon. It's not just an aquarium, it's a journey to the wonder of our planet's water world. We laughed, we learned, and we got a little wet. Okay, maybe more than a little. But most of all, we connected. With nature, with animal, and hopefully with each other. If you had as much fun as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know what is your favorite part of the aquarium. Was it the shark, the jellyfish, or the otter doing zombie? That's all folks, until next time, I'm Vince and this is the TheViluShow, where we invest in memories one adventure at a time. Stay curious, stay kind, and I'll catch you on the next journey.